Hi everyone, it's Arlo here. Today, on Animal Fact Friday, we'll be looking at the avian family. Today's topic is the budgie. Like usual, we'll start with the behavior and diet portion. Also, like usual, we'll start with the behavior part of this portion first. Budgies, also known as parakeets, use distinct body language, sounds, and physical actions to communicate their mood, health, and social needs. They head bob, which is a rhythmic up and down movement that usually means your budgie is excited, happy, or seeking attention. Young birds also do it when begging for food. They make a soft grinding or clicking noise with their beak. This sound indicates a content, relaxed bird that is often getting ready to sleep. If a budgie is fluffing up their feathers, it can mean the bird is relaxed, cold, or trying to settle in for a nap. However, if it's constantly puffed up, that can signal illness or stress. Stretching wings or wagging tail after preening shows the bird is feeling good and getting good blood flow. Resting with one leg tucked into the feathers is a normal sign of comfort and deep relaxation. A stressed budgie often shows clear changes in body language and habits, such as freezing in a slim alarm posture with wide eyes, frantic cage flapping, panting with an open beak, passing very watery fear poop, or excessive overgrooming and excessive feather plucking. Budgies show trust and affection around humans through relaxed body language, vocalizations, and mimicking behavior. Relaxed and slightly fluffed cheeks feathers mean the birds feel secure and comfortable near you. A budgie that grooms itself or preens near your hand or body shows it feels completely safe with you, as they only drop their guard when comfortable. Calling out or singing when you approach or walk by means that the bird recognizes you and wants your attention. Gentle tapping on your finger with its beak is a sign of curiosity and an attempt to bond. Now that we've gotten the behavior part out of the way, we'll move on to the diet part. For a healthy pet budgie, they need a balanced diet of high quality pelleted food supplements with fresh vegetables and limited seeds. Wild budgies eat primarily native grass seeds and seasonal vegetation as well as insects. Now that we've gotten the behavior and diet portion out of the way, next we move on to the mating portion. Budgies mating involves specific courtship rituals and brief physical act called cloacal copulation, where the male and female press their reproductive openings together. Budgies build strong bonds before they breed. Common signs of courtship include feeding. The male feeds regurgitated food from the female to show he can provide for a family. Both birds will head bob to signal interest. The male sings complex melodies to get the female's attention. The pair will preen each other to build trust. Mating season is spring or fall. Now that we've gotten the mating portion out of the way, next we shall move on to the hatchling portion. Budgie hatchlings are born completely naked, blind, and helpless, measuring roughly the size of a nickel on day one. Baby budgies stay with their parents for about 6 to 8 weeks before they are fully weaned and ready to leave. Now that we've gotten the hatchling portion out of the way, next we move on to the habitat portion. So, for this portion, I will be mentioning both their wild and their domestic habitats. So the domestic habitat, they live in cages at least 30 inches long and 18 inches wide, so they can fly short distances. They need natural wood perches that are different lengths and widths to keep their feet healthy. The cage must be in a quiet, bright room away from direct cold drafts. Wild budgies live in hot, dry, and arid regions where the birds stay close to permanent water sources. Flocks travel thousands of miles across savannas and farmlands following seasonal rain and food. Birds gathering in small nomadic flocks of 3 to 100 grow into thousands after major rainfall. Now that we've finished with the habitat portion, next we'll be moving on and talking about the population portion. There is no exact count on the budgie population. However, experts estimate that there are millions of wild budgies. That's not counting the domestic budgies. Now that we've done the population portion, next we'll move on to the vocalization portion. Budgies make a wide variety of sounds to express their moods, needs, and social interactions. They sing or warble, they beak grind, they chatter, They use contact calls. They mimic.
Let's have a bird. Not a sweet baby poo.
They scream. And they wheeze or make a wet clicking noise. Now that we've gotten the vocalization portion out of the way, next we move on to the final portion, which is the other facts portion. There are 3 types of budgies: the English budgie, the American budgie, and the wild Australian budgie. The English budgies are often referred to as the show or exhibit budgies. They are larger, growing up to 10 to 12 inches long, and weighs nearly twice as much as the American budgie. The American budgie, which is also known as the pet budgie, they are smaller and slimmer, measuring around 6 to 7 inches long. They closely resemble the wild Australian budgie. The wild Australian budgie, also known as the original budgie, measures 6 to 7 inches long. They are sleeker with sharper markings. They only exist in green and yellow, no other colors. Budgies can turn their head 180 degrees. Budgies can see over 150 images per second, while us humans can only register 16. They have a third eyelid. It's a clear membrane that keeps their eyes clean and moist. Budgies have hollow bones, making them lightweight and fast flyers. Well, that's it for this video. Tell me, do you have a budgie? Do you want a budgie? Or maybe do you just like them? I know not everyone likes birds, so I want to know what everyone thinks of budgies. Well, that'll be all for this video. I'll see you all in the next one. Arlo out.